Have you ever felt like your mind is a runaway train, constantly speeding through thoughts of the past or anxieties about the future? It feels like you're just a passenger, completely out of control, being dragged along on a chaotic journey. If that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Because today I'm going to share a story, a simple yet profoundly life-changing story that holds the key to hitting the emergency brake on that train and finding the peace that comes with an empty present mind. This isn't just about another productivity hack or a temporary fix. This is about a fundamental shift in how you experience every single moment of your life. So, stick with me, because the lesson at the end of this story could be the turning point you've been searching for. Let's begin. Once, in a bustling town, lived a young man named Cale. Cale was like many of us. He was bright, ambitious, and hard-working, but his mind was a relentless storm. During the day, while trying to work, his thoughts would drift to a mistake he made last week. At night, while trying to sleep, his mind would race with worries about what tomorrow might bring. He was rarely ever here in the present moment. He was always lost somewhere else in the labyrinth of his own thoughts. This constant mental chatter left him feeling exhausted, anxious, and disconnected from his own life. He felt like a spectator watching his days pass by in a blur. He yearned for silence, not the absence of sound, but the silence of a calm mind. One day, he heard tales of an old, wise sage who lived in a secluded monastery atop a distant mountain. People said this sage held the secret to true peace and a quiet mind. Desperate for a solution, Kyle decided to seek him out. After a long and arduous journey, he finally reached the monastery, a place of profound stillness that seemed to seep into his very bones. He found the sage, an old man with eyes that held the depth of a calm lake, meditating in a serene garden. Kyle bowed respectfully and poured out his heart, describing the ceaseless turmoil in his mind. He asked, "Wise master, my mind is my greatest tormentor. It never stops. It replays the past and rehearses the future, leaving no room for peace. Please teach me how to control my thoughts. Teach me how to empty my mind." The sage listened patiently, a gentle smile on his face. When Cale finished, the sage didn't offer a complex philosophy or a long lecture. Instead, he stood up and gestured for Cale to follow him. He led Cale into a dimly lit room. In the center of the room, on a small wooden table, sat a simple oil lamp, unlit. The sage handed Cale a single match. "Your task is simple," he said softly. "I want you to light this lamp. Then you must carry this lit lamp without the flame ever extinguishing on a specific path. You will walk through the monastery gardens, across the narrow wooden bridge over the stream, and up the winding stone steps to the bell tower at the highest point of the monastery. Once you reach the bell tower, turn around and bring the lamp back here, with the flame still burning. Do this and we will talk." Kyle was puzzled. How could carrying a lamp solve his problem? It seemed like a trivial, almost childish task. He had come all this way for a profound secret, not a simple errand. But seeing the serene confidence in the sage's eyes, he agreed. He struck the match, and a small, delicate flame flickered to life, casting dancing shadows on the walls. He carefully lit the wick of the oil lamp. The flame grew steady, a tiny beacon of light and warmth. Holding it carefully with both hands, he began his journey. As soon as he stepped outside into the monastery gardens, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves. Cale immediately tensed up. His first instinct was to shield the flame. He cupped his hands around the lamp, his eyes fixed on the flickering light. He walked slowly, his steps measured and deliberate. Every gust of wind was a potential enemy. His entire focus, his entire world, shrank to that one tiny, vulnerable flame. He forgot about the argument he had with a friend last month. He forgot about his worries over his future career. His mind, usually a raging tempest of thoughts, had become completely still, completely focused on one singular purpose: protecting the flame. He reached the narrow wooden bridge over the stream. The sound of the gurgling water, which would normally go unnoticed, now seemed loud and distracting. He had to be extra careful with his footing on the uneven planks. He held his breath as he crossed, his gaze never wavering from the steady glow in his hands. He wasn't thinking about how he looked, or what the sage might be thinking. He was just walking. He was just protecting the flame. Then came the winding stone steps leading up to the bell tower. This was the most challenging part. Each step required concentration. A slight trip or a moment of carelessness, and the flame would be gone. His arms began to ache, but he didn't notice the discomfort. His entire being was poured into the act of climbing step by step, while keeping the lamp steady. Finally, he reached the top. He stood in the bell tower, the lamp still burning brightly. He took a moment, catching his breath, and for the first time he looked out. The view was breathtaking. The entire valley spread out below him, bathed in the soft light of the afternoon sun. He had never seen anything so beautiful. In his previous state of mental chaos, he would have missed this completely. He carefully made his way back down the steps, across the bridge, and through the garden. The journey back was just as demanding, requiring the same level of unwavering attention. When he finally returned to the room and placed the still-lit lamp on the table, he felt a sense of calm he hadn't experienced in years. He was tired, but it was a peaceful, physical exhaustion, not the draining mental fatigue he was used to. He looked at the sage, who was smiling knowingly. "Tell me, Kale," the sage asked gently, "while you were carrying the lamp, what were you thinking about?" Kale paused and reflected. He was astonished by the answer. "Nothing," he replied. "I wasn't thinking about anything at all. My only thought was to protect the flame. I was worried it might go out with the wind or if I stumbled. My entire world was just that small flame and the path in front of me." The sage's smile widened. He placed a hand on Kale's shoulder. "And did you feel the turmoil you spoke of? The regrets of the past or the fears of the future?" "No, Master," Kale said, his voice filled with wonder. "They were gone. My mind, it was empty. It was quiet." The sage then revealed the core of the lesson. "The secret to peace, the secret to an empty mind is right there in your own experience," he said. "Your mind is like this flame. It is meant to illuminate the present moment. But you let the winds of the past and the future buffet it, and it flickers chaotically. To control your thoughts, you don't fight them. You simply give your full attention to the task at hand, just as you gave your full attention to protecting the flame." He continued, "This lamp is your present moment. The journey was your life. By focusing all your energy on keeping the flame alive, on being fully present with your task, you naturally emptied your mind of everything else. You stopped your endless mental journey. You were simply here now." True wisdom, the sage concluded, is not in possessing great knowledge, but in emptying your mind of all that is not the present. When you eat, just eat. Taste every bite. When you walk, just walk. Feel the ground beneath your feet. When you listen to a friend, just listen. Give them your full, undivided attention. Protect the flame of the present moment with the same dedication you showed today. In that focus, you will find the silence you seek. You will find peace. Kale finally understood. The solution wasn't a magic formula or a mystical secret. It was a simple, practical approach to life that he had just experienced firsthand. He bowed deeply to the sage, his heart filled with gratitude not just for the teaching, but for the experience that had made it real. This story isn't just about Kale. It's about you. It's about me. How often are we physically present somewhere, but mentally a million miles away? We're eating while scrolling through our phones. We're walking while planning our to-do list. We're listening to someone while thinking about what we're going to say next. We are not protecting the flame. We're letting the winds of distraction blow it out, again and again. The transformative message here is this: you already have the power to control your thoughts. It's not about forcing them to stop. It's about redirecting your focus. It's about choosing what you give your attention to. Start small. Pick one activity today. It could be washing the dishes, drinking a cup of tea, or walking to your car. For those few minutes, make it your lamp. Pour all of your attention into it. Feel the warm water on your hands. Smell the aroma of the tea. Notice the rhythm of your footsteps. When your mind wanders, and it will, gently guide it back, just as Cale would have shielded his lamp from a sudden gust of wind. Don't get frustrated. Just bring your focus back to the present moment, to the flame. This practice of mindfulness, of being fully present, is the key to emptying your mind and finding that inner stillness. It is how you stop being a passenger on a runaway train and become the conductor of your own awareness. It's how you start truly living your life, moment by precious moment, instead of just thinking about it. So, what is the one thing you will choose to be fully present for today? Let this story not just be something you heard, but something you live. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey today. If this story resonated with you, please give this video a thumbs up, as it really helps others find it. And for more content designed to help you find peace and live a more present life, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, be present and protect your flame.